I figured I would do a follow-up to a previous video where I talked about like a day in my life. Because one of my friends asked me why I don't make a video on more intimate things since I'm already kind of put myself out there. And I couldn't quite think of what I wanted to talk about. Because, like, this is kind of a diary of sorts, a very public diary. So I was Googling, like, what's something you could talk about in videos like this? And one of the ones that caught my eye is, like, what was your dream and did you pursue it and what have you? I guess I'll talk about that one. My dream was always growing up to be a pilot in the Air Force. My grandpa was in the military and he kind of wanted all his kids to join the military. So I was going to pretty much follow that path. I had talked to multiple recruiters from various different branches, and just to kind of satisfy my grandpa. But my dream was always Air Force. I wanted to be a pilot. I had always loved the idea of aviation, and growing up watching Stargate SG-1, I just always wanted to be a pilot. Some of it was in the hopes that one day, we stumble upon some ancient technology and I gotta fly this alien spaceship or something, Kind of one of the reasons I wanted to join the Air Force. So after talking to all the other branches first, my grandpa never really liked the Air Force. So I talked to all the other ones first. None of them really caught my eye. I didn't want to be a Marine because I was always afraid I'd be on the front lines. I didn't want to be on the front lines. I guess in a sense you are when you're a pilot. I didn't think about that. And not to downplay any of the branches of the military, they're all important. My dream was always aviation. So I finally went and talked to an Air Force recruiter. I had an interview with them. I was speaking with them about everything the Air Force offers, and I was starting to see the gold in the dirt, And we got to talking about what specifically I wanted to do in the Air Force. I was like, well, if I join the Air Force, I want to work towards being a pilot. Like, that's my dream. And we got to talking about like medical history and stuff, and I was fit enough at the time. But then we got onto the subject of eyesight. And I don't know if this is 100% true. I'm not calling the recruiter a liar. But he did say you had to have 20/20 eyesight. And I've never had 20/20 eyesight. I technically am nearsighted, and I'm supposed to wear glasses. Prescription glasses, mind you. I've always technically supposed to have worn glasses. I never really do, because I'm not really ever in a situation where I need them, because my nearsightedness isn't that bad. But I asked him, like, well, can I wear glasses? It's like, no. 20/20 vision without glasses or corrections or anything of the sort. And I'm like, oh. And again, I'm not calling the recruiter a liar. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I was told. I'm like, oh, okay. I was trying to be a man about it. I was still young. I was still just fresh out of high school. I was trying to be a man about it, though, because my dream just came crashing to the ground in a matter of seconds, And so I went home. I sob storied to my grandpa about it. I'm like, man, I wanted to be a pilot, in the Air Force. They have these cool uniforms, and they look so prestigious and awesome, you know, and one of my favorite TV show characters is in the Air Force, and, you know, like, all this stuff. I wanted to be in the Air Force. My grandpa's like, well, you could join the Air Corps, which I guess is the Army. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be in the Air Corps, I want to be in the Air Force. And, you know, you get to be a pilot in the Air Corps too, you know, you can fly like helicopters and stuff. I'm like, but it's not the Air Force. You don't understand, I wanted to be in the Air Force. So yeah, that was my dream. I dreamed to be a pilot in the Air Force, and that all ended in an instant. I guess I got to be grateful, and I'm very respectful of the people who have served, you know, and who are currently serving, of course. Don't get me wrong, like, I want to make sure, you know, they're fighting for our rights. They're fighting for our right to say shit about the government, what have you. So, much respect to them. But I am grateful that I never ended up serving in any branch, because I'm not cut out for war. And I know joining the branch of a military doesn't necessarily mean you'll see conflict. But I just didn't want to be a part of conflict, because deep down I never really thought the wars we fought have really been justified. So I'm grateful I never had to serve. But I am very grateful to those who have and are currently serving, because they're really important to the safety of our country. Just sucks that we have an administration that's abusing that right now. I won't get into that. I despise our current leadership. They're getting our people involved in needless conflicts, just like every warmongering leader before them. And it's sad. But yeah, that was my dream. My dream was to be a pilot in the Air Force. I don't know. I was one of those kids who, when something like that happened, I gave up on it immediately. I didn't want anything even lateral to it, you know? Like, when I was still going to church, I had a buddy whose dad was a pilot, and he's like, I can get you programs and stuff so you can look into being a pilot for Boeing or something. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be a pilot anymore. I wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force. I don't want to be a pilot doing other pilot-y stuff. And just don't, you know? And that's okay. You know? Did I have other dreams? Sure, but that was my dream. And it is what it is.